touchdown team for the Eagan Wildcats. The center, junior number 79, Jack Young. Guard, senior number 55, Luke Meyer. Guard, senior number 73, Colton Leonard. Tackle, senior number 65, Alex Cahill. Tackle, junior number 66, George Esser. Tight end, junior, wearing number 62 this evening, Keenan Wilson. Tight end, sophomore number 83, Jack Hansen. Wing, senior number 20, Derek Dorsey. Wing, junior, number 22, Sam Iacker. The holder, junior, number 2, George Anderson. And the kicker for the Wildcats is senior number 48, Alex Rodman. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem this evening will be sung by the Eagan High School choral group Bel Canto, an auditioned treble choir with singers in grades 10 through 12. Bel Canto is directed by Amy Jo Cherner.
Welcome inside Wildcats Stadium, where the border battle is set to begin between your Eagan Wildcats and the Burnsville Blaze here on a Tackle Cancer Night 2021. He's Nathan Cron. I'm Mike Cook. Happy to be with you once again. And Nathan, we got a couple of 1-5 teams going at it, but what we're going to see on the field tonight are a couple of teams just want to butt heads, and they are not going to be playing like 1-5 squads.
Yeah, they're both 1-5, but both teams are going to give everything they can, everything they've got, because both teams want to be that team that goes to 2-5. Tonight we're going to see the Wildcats coming off a victory against Hopkins. Burnsville's only victory of this year against Hopkins as well. We're going to see if the Wildcat defense can do something to slow down the Burnsville attack, see if the Wildcat offense can repeat the heroics, the excellence that they had last week against Hopkins on last Saturday.
I talked to Coach Nick Johnson for Eagan and Vince Barkus for Burnsville. Both of them said this is the kind of game where each team is going to get smacked in the face. It's a question of how do you respond. So that is one battle we will definitely keep an eye on tonight, is what happens in the trenches. And the Burnsville Blaze are going to get the ball first. Moving right to left across your screen on a joint production between Eagan TV and our friends over at Burnsville Community Television. Happy to have the folks from BC TV on board as well tonight for this border battle between the Cats and the Blaze. And Burnsville will take from about their own 10-yard line, looking to get a good return, starting things off. And they'll get out near the 24-yard line. Christian Bell, the ball carrier there for the Burnsville Blaze. Burnsville, they've come into this game, they've scored 62 points in their last two games. Losses to Park of Cottage Grove, and then last week against Eastview, got down 3 scores early, twice got within 1, but just couldn't quite make it all the way back.
Well, the Blaze are going to do everything they possibly can, Mike, to set the tone on this first drive. They definitely want to get some points out of this first drive. It's going to give them some opportunity to put some real pressure on this defense.
Like number 17, Sterling Brown Jr., the signal caller for the Burnsville Blaze. Easy to see him tonight. He's got the long pink sleeves there. As we said, it is tackle cancer here tonight in Wildcat country, and Brown's going to air it out on first down. A little too far for his intended receiver here on the left side. I believe that was Brendan Afana Shank, number 80, the intended target, and indeed it was.
Derek Dorsey for the Wildcats had the coverage that time, was running right with him. Dorsey still with that left arm. I believe it's the left arm casted up for breaking his wrist, I believe. There he is. There on your screen. But he was running right with him. That ball was just overthrown.
And I like Dorsey, who's got it covered in pink tonight, part of the whole tackle cancer to do here tonight in Wildcat country. Burnsville's going to run it on 2nd and 10. This will be Gregerson, whose name we are going to call an awful lot tonight. Ball is on the turf. Cats claim they have it. Officials say he was down. And coming away with the football is Burnsville's number 53, Zane Schneider. Let's take a look at the first carry of the game for Gregerson.
That ball was absolutely on the ground. Alert that the Wildcats tried to pounce on it. Even more alert that Gregerson was able to get on it. That's what you want from your offensive line. Good blocking, but if somebody puts the ball on the turf, the offensive line can do them a solid and recover it.
Yeah, Zane Schneider, the first key stop tonight, I should say, for Burnsville. We're going to see Burnsville with a lot of guys going both ways tonight. Definitely numbers have been depleted in the Burnsville program. Brown, near side, Gregerson, out across the 30 to the 34. Is he going to the first? He will. Barrels his way forward. That's a first down Blaze on a fine effort there by the senior do-it-all.
Nice play by Gregerson out to the flat. Nice effort there by multiple Wildcats. Kruger and Anderson coming up to make the tackle. Well, that time, Gregerson just too much strength, too much physical ability there to push through that. That's a big conversion for a big third down, Mike.
And again, the pit is out in force tonight. Most of them decked out in the pink. As we said, big tackle cancer night. T-shirts they were selling up as people entered the stadium tonight. Hats, some other knick-knacky things, all in the bright pink. Fresh set of downs for the Blaze, a minute and a half in. Gregerson, the carry. We checked that. I believe that was Belt that time, number 2. First carry of the night for Belt. He'll get out across the 40. Set up second and about 6 for the Burnsville Blaze. I believe Iacker, was in on the stop for the Wildcats that time. Wildcats last week, for those of you that watched the Hopkins game or those of you that were there, you saw how good this defensive front was against Hopkins. 9 sacks in that football game.
That's the kind of stuff that you just dream about when you're lying in bed at night.
And Brown on second down. Will he go to the air? Oh, hello. Somebody finds Keenan Wilson right there. Wilson all over the ball carrier, who I assume it was Gregerson. Didn't have enough time to check the number on the ball carrier, but actually it was Bell. But bottom line is Wilson all over that play.
It's never a good thing when your offensive lineman is standing around looking into the backfield, watching somebody make the tackle. And Wilson absolutely, I think that was a missed assignment, Mike, because it looked like a Burnsville player either was pulling or had to do the reach block, and he missed or he stepped the wrong way because Wilson came in almost untouched.
And for those of you that have been with us all year, yes, Keenan Wilson was 92 earlier, switched to 62 because he might be having to play some offensive line. He's kind of moved up on the depth chart there, and you can't have somebody in the 90s on the O-line. Brown to throw. He's going to loft one out near midfield. Just too far for his intended target. It was number 14, Christian Hernandez from his tight end spot. And it should be a punch situation upcoming for the Burnsville Blaze.
4th down and 11. Nice, decent protection. He moves the pocket. Not a lot of great opportunity. 2 receivers for the Blaze in the same spot, Mike, and you wonder if that was necessarily planned. But that time, it looked to me anyway, that Brown had time to step into that throw a little bit. And it's unfortunate for Brown that he just didn't quite get what he needed on the other end of it.
And home with here, number 3 is the punter for Burnsville. He was one of the receivers over near, I should say, the other near receiver on that last play. Set to kick this one away. Let it go from about his own 25. Anderson back deep for the Wildcats. Takes a little favorable bounce for the Cats, who will start at about their own 36-yard line. First offensive series of the night upcoming for the Eagan Wildcats. Got about 8:39 to go here in the opening quarter. Again, here on an ETV, BCTV production. Burnsville head coach Vince Vartness making the trek across Highway 13 and down Diffley, and here we go.
Well, the Wildcat defense already tonight, Mike, has done something it hasn't really had hasn't done well here in playing at home, and that is get a punt on the first series. That's really positive for these Wildcats.
Schwam quarterbacking once again this week as Tonsager gets out near the 40-yard line. Parker Fall, who we've seen get a lot of the carries this year, he's done for the season, unfortunately, with a knee injury. Not a tear or anything like that, I was told, but nonetheless, it's going to be one that will keep him out the rest of the season. Therefore, Tonsager, who was your quarterback, moves back to the running back. Schwam comes in as your quarterback, and here we are.
It's musical chairs based on injury, and also, you want to put players in a position to do the best they can to be successful. And obviously, Coach Johnson thinks this is a good combination.
So we land in Tonsager once again, number 8 coming through up to near the 40-yard line, 43-yard line. Going to set up third and short for the Eagan Wildcats. Again, just straight ahead.
It's a nice surge there for the Wildcats. And I tell you, if you're going to get 3.5, 4 yards on every running play, stick with it.
We'll see 3rd and 3 officially upcoming for Eagan. First offensive series of the night for the Wildcats. Burnsville got one first down on their opening drive and then had to punt it away. Cats on a 3rd and 3. Schwam barks out signals. Tonsager alone in the backfield. Tonsager, he'll get it. He'll get out near the first down. Let's check on the spot. This is going to be close. Brandon Montgomery among those in there for Burnsville. Van Busani as well. Let's take a look with they are going to move the chains.
As a good effort by the Burnsville defense, they swarmed all over Tonsager as he came through the line. So effort not lacking for the Burnsville defense. Just that time Tonsager just got enough to get the first down. And you look at the scoreboard and you say to yourself, hey, there's no column for style points up there. Just got to get it.
Jack Young, the center for the Wildcats. Voodoo goes in motion. Tonsager straight ahead. It's 2, maybe 3 stacked up by about half of the Burnsville defense. Nice Gregerson among those in there for Burnsville.
Nice job by the Burnsville defense smothering it up and also doing a nice job of getting up off of Tonsager and each other. Watch this surge. Not a great surge there. A little bit of penetration there by the Burnsville defense, especially through looks like off tackle. But Tonsager's going to make his living, so to speak, in those A gaps and B gaps. And we're going to have to see if the Wildcats are going to try something else, try something a little different here on 2nd down.
Yeah, we'll give them a couple there. Make it 2nd and 8 as we approach the halfway point of a rapidly moving opening quarter. Schwam will keep. There's a first down and more inside the 40. He'll get down to about the 30-yard line on the keeper. Nice run by the sophomore signal caller.
That's definitely what you want out of your quarterback. Watch, he makes a good decision there. And there's a great block to the outside, and forgive me, I could not see in the replay who that was, but it was a nice block by the winger outside receiver there, pinning in the Burnsville defender who got caught inside. He broke the cardinal rule of being an outside defender, which is keep that outside shoulder free, got pinned inside, and Schwam was able to go to the outside.
I'm going to say 20 yards on that carry. The ball is spotted at the 33 of Burnsville. A little confusion there in the backfield, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. That play was busted up really well in there by Jaden Ellis, among others, for Burnsville. Jaden, the big man there, wearing 62 on the right side of your screen. Jaden, just a sophomore in this Burnsville team.
2nd and 10.
Well, you look at the program tonight. Burnsville's got, I believe, 5 freshmen dressing tonight.
From the Burnsville 33-yard line.
Karsten Tompkins, you saw him briefly, number 5 in Burnsville, kind of on the right side of your screen. One of the top tacklers on this team, along with 55, Dylan Fisher, and Gregerson, who we've mentioned before. There's a good look at number 5, the senior, linebacker / tight end. And we've got a timeout taken on the field by the Eagan Wildcats.
Coach NJ was running down the sideline to get a timeout. He wanted to make sure that he had the right personnel package. Also looked like maybe Burnsville might be doing something that he didn't have the right package on for, didn't have the right formation for. But I like what's going on. And NJ didn't want to call a timeout there because when you've got some momentum, the last thing you want to do is have time slow down.
Hey, for those of you that are watching this game live tonight and looking for plans for tomorrow night, Saturday night, Eagan's Theater's program, final night of Space Girl, 7 p.m. inside the high school. Check out the website for tickets for the production of Space Girl, the fall production by the EHS Theater Department.
Quality productions here at EHS. I mean, it's good stuff, whether it's one-act play or the musical encore every year, whatever it is, they do a great job.
And I'm not going to say Eagan, I'm going to say the entire 196.
I think that's fair.
Every one of these 4 high schools has outstanding fine arts productions. Tonsauger, he's going to lose a couple. That was busted up nicely by Burnsville. Finally, it's Tompkins that's going to get credit for the tackle. But I'll tell you, Dylan Fisher was in there to kind of break things up initially for the Blaze.
Loss on the play to the Burnsville 35-yard line.
Loss of 2 on that play, and the Cats looking at third and really long.
This is a position they don't want to be in. This offense is not meant to get big chunks of yardage, but that was a great play that time by the Burnsville defense. It was a bit of a inside counter play, and they stayed at home. Nobody bid on the counter. Otherwise, Tonsauger might have had all sorts of green grass.
Well, did the Cats go to the air for the first time tonight? Schwam is going to throw it. He's got a little screen pass near side. This is Anderson inside the 30, 25. That's a first down. Wildcats inside the 20-yard line. George Anderson on the reception.
Nicely done by George Anderson. That actually wasn't a forward pass. That was a negative pass. That was a lateral pass. If that ball, Anderson drops that ball, if there's a miscue, it's danger for the Wildcats. Instead, I don't think that Burnsville was accounting for that because they were covering the receivers like Rowan Phillips on that side. They did not have anybody accounting for Anderson that time.
19 yards on the reception. Number 2 there for the Wildcats. Cats in the red zone, first time tonight. Tonsauger, he's got some room, cuts to the outside, 10. Cuts to the outside again, 6 points, Eagan.
Oh, there's some great blocking to the outside, Mike. Great blocking to the outside for the Wildcats. Tonsauger follows, he's going to follow his guys. Voodoo is blocking down the field. Rowan Phillips is blocking down the field. That play, that touchdown, is because Voodoo and Phillips were blocking downfield and stuck on their guys. They weren't holding, they weren't cheating, they weren't getting penalties. They were locked on and moving their feet, moving their hands. That's fantastic stuff.
And what were you just saying moments ago about things that do not show up in the box score?
That's right.
2 perfect examples right there. Rodman, does he split the uprights? It looks like he does. He does. Indeed, the officials say 7-0 for your Eagan Wildcats. Again, tackle cancer night. The pit they're pumped. They're loving it. A little better start than 2 weeks ago when we were here for homecoming against Eastview.
Absolutely, and this is the kind of start that for the Wildcats and for Coach NJ that they needed. They really needed to have a good start. To keep this crowd going. Band's here, it's playing. We got a big group for tackle cancer night. You see all the pink socks. You see the pink cast on Dorsey's wrist there. I mean, you want to get everybody fired up and excited to be here and want to be here as part of a community, and that's the kind of thing. A great first drive here for the Wildcats. 2 third-down conversions and 3 first downs on that touchdown drive.
And one of those conversions was by the pass, which Eagan does not throw the ball a whole lot this year. And when they do it, they haven't had a ton of success with it either.
Well, and of course in the stat sheet, it's not a pass. That was a run. That was a run. I mean, I'm not sure he's keeping the stats, but technically that was a run.
By the way, for Tonsauger, he had 2 scores. We could go up at Hopkins in that 27-14 Wildcat win. And Burnsville's going to start from the 20-yard line. And I was talking to Coach Comer, the defensive coordinator. He told me in that Hopkins game, the Royals had negative yardage until they got a couple of late scores in the fourth quarter. Well, so that's how good the Eagan D was playing. And we mentioned they had the 9 sacks the other night.
Well, I think that's fair. I think Burnsville brings a lot more to the table, if I'm honest. And we're going to see if this defense, which has not always tackled well, has not always swarmed to the ball. We're going to see if they can do that for a full 48 minutes against these Blaze.
Absolutely. And as we said, Burnsville, they put some points on the board the last couple of weeks. And they'll run it straight up the middle. Gregerson, powerful back. Picks up 5 on a play that really should have gotten about 1, maybe 2.
Carrier 21, Gregerson.
Again, Gregerson, Mr. Do Everything for this Burnsville squad.
Wildcats in the tackle, including Keating Wilson, number 62.
Yeah, Tonsager, 16-yard run, put the Cats on the board for that 7-0 lead.
5 for the Blaze at their 25-yard line.
2nd and 5 upcoming for Burnsville. They got 1 first down the first time they had the football. And this is Bell. That football hits the turf. Cats claim they have it. Referees say it's down. Gregerson covers it.
Ball carrier for the Blaze was number 8.
That's the second time the Blaze have put the ball on the turf. That time it is Claiborne. And again, the offense, somebody pounces on it, but that's a worrying trend if you're the Blaze coaching staff. You say, wait a minute, guys, we got to, football's a simple game. We got to block, we got to tackle, and we got to hold on to the football. And right now, the Blaze have put the ball on the turf twice, lucky both times to get it back.
I apologize to Christian Belt. He was not the ball carrier, but he's number 8, Dekai Claiborne.
Yes.
The carry. So. 3rd and 7 upcoming for the Blaze. Student section making a lot of noise on the home side. Brown looking to throw. Trying to get come near side. Airs it out near the 40-yard line. Good coverage out there by the Eagan Wildcats. That was Dorsey on the coverage. And it looks like number 80, Brendan Afanashenk, was the intended target for the Blaze, who are likely going to be punting the football away for the second time here in quarter number 1.
And Brown unlucky that time. He did not get a chance to set his feet. Watch this replay. He's still drifting back as he's heaving that ball. He cannot step into it. And as a quarterback, I mean, if you're Brett Favre or Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, you can do whatever you want. But when you're an ordinary human being, like most of us are, and like all these players are, you got to step into the throw. You have to be able to transfer the weight from the front of your body to the back, from the back of your body to the front of your body, and follow through with your mechanics. And he didn't get a chance.
Kicking team,
and
number 10.
Go back 5 on a
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So that'll move the ball back to about the 17-yard line, which means the punt will be kicking from about the 10, give or take.
And Wildcats have got to be smart here. They have to just get the ball, because they're going to get the ball around midfield if nothing goes wrong. Just got to be smart.
Actually, Georgia Anderson is standing on the Burnsville 40. He'll back up slightly. That's a good punt. Favorable roll for the Blaze. Down to the Wildcat 33-yard line.
That's the smart play. I mean, that really is for Anderson the smart play. If I can't field it cleanly, if it's not going to be easy for me, I'm going to let it go, give our offense a chance to get on the field. And remember, George Anderson in the Eastview game had a little problem with a punt at a crucial time,
yes, he did.
and it cost the Eagan Wildcats some substantial momentum.
Good to see the Eagan cheer squad here. Again, tackle cancer. Money raised tonight goes to the Randy Shaver Cancer Research Fund.
And I know the players appreciate it, the coaches, the fans, everybody appreciates the cheer squad, the dance team, the band, everybody who makes this game day experience so important. Thank you to all of you guys.
And I want to credit the Burnsville student section as well. They're wearing pink tonight here in Wildcat country, as the Cats get about 3, maybe about 2 on first down. There's the student section for Burnsville High School tonight, making the trek over. Notice they're a little more bundled up tonight as well. Game time temperature 48 degrees.
Well, it says 48 degrees on your smartphone. I'm not sure if it always feels like 48 degrees out there. You and I are lucky we're not on the roof like we were last year during the pandemic. We're down here in the cozy box, but out there it feels probably more like 45 to 40 degrees.
Yeah, there was a pretty stiff breeze going. It'd be from the bottom of your screen to the top. Actually, there was a little bit of rain about an hour before the game as well, just kind of some intermittent showers. And Rowan Phillips stretches out. Is it going to be enough for the first down? Phillips is going to be, where are they going to spot this football? And they are saying move the chain, so Rowan Phillips, nice stretch. Needed 8, got about 8 1/4. Watch this job here by the senior.
Boy, that, you know what, that right knee never touched.
Yep.
That was a really good call by the officials to let him get the full value of that extension, because his knee that was going down never actually touches the turf.
Yep. Inside 2 minutes to go here. Opening quarter on ETV and a joint production with BCTV. 7-0 Cats. Second drive of the game for the home team. Here's Tonsager. Falls backwards. We got a late flag on that one. That one's likely going to be going the wrong way for the Eagan Wildcats, judging by where that flag came in. So let's make sure indeed it will be on the home team. Generally in the area of a offensive line infraction.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
As the official said, 10 yards from the spot.
Oh, Aiden Moses, you got caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, keep an eye on.
He's over. Well, he was over there. Boy, that camera moved a little too fast for me, but trust me, it was on the left side of the line, and that's what happened.
First and really a long ways for the Wildcats. Actually, they're going to say 21. Pass coming near side. There's Anderson once again. Yeah, he gets out near the 45-yard line. Nice pickup for Anderson on an official pass this time.
I think so. I think you're correct about that. Nice blocking down the field. Anderson picks up that ball behind the line of scrimmage, takes off down the field. You see Parker Fall giving Anderson a pat on the head. Watch this as he comes to the left side of your screen. And who's this blocking outside? Look at Rowan Phillips locking down a defensive back to allow George Anderson to get to the outside. Credit to Anderson. He didn't dance. He was immediately decisive. I'm going on this side of Phillips's block, and I'm going to get what I can.
Power package here for the Wildcats. Tonsager straight ahead. He'll get near midfield. Gregerson, who was the first man to meet him, got a little help in there from some teammates after the fact, including number 64, Christian Savangse. So it's going to set up 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats.
From 1st and 21 to 3rd and 5, that's not bad for this offense.
We'll take it.
You'll take it.
And the clock is stopped for. There it goes. Clock was stopped for some reason. Just on the Eagan side of midfield is the football. The screen pass, a little too far that time. Hanson, the intended target. And if you're Eagan, I know Nick Johnson likes to gamble. What do you do here? Looks like he's going to send the punt team out.
Well, yeah, and because Burnsville so far is 1 for 3 on 3rd down. They've got 1 first down offensively. So yeah, I'm going to make them drive 80 yards and beat me. I'm not going to try to beat myself with the score 7-0. I think this is smart, assuming we can execute the punt properly.
Absolutely.
And hopefully I didn't just put a commentator's curse on someone.
This is Guerin. He'll kick it away. No, he's going to throw it. And they try a little trickery, and that had no chance whatsoever. Read tremendously by Keon Hunter there for Burnsville.
No, I think this is, I honestly did expect a punt there. Oh, but I tell you, Hunter did make contact with the receiver. I was surprised that I was actually looked down when I saw that contact between Hunter and the receiver. I actually looked down at the Eagan sideline to see if their coaches were going to lose their minds, and they actually didn't argue too much on that one. So Burnsville really gets, I think, maybe a gift here. I mean, they're now going to have a 49-yard field.
With 1:05 to go here, opening quarter on ETV, your home for Wildcat Sports. Brown looking to go to the air. Lofts one up going far side. Coverage back there by Gugino, and they're going to get him, I believe, on an interference. Hummuth was the intended target. Gugino never turned around.
Well, Gugino's got a substantial height issue matched up against Hummuth. So, I mean, he's battling. He's probably as fast as Hummuth, but he's certainly not as tall. And I don't think he ever turned, like you said, turned around.
This pass interference.
Interference. Defense number 19. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Results in a first down.
There's a good look at that replay. And you mentioned, look at the height difference here. And Why wouldn't you just throw that ball up and say, go get it, big man?
It was not the most brutal pass interference you've ever seen. But again, Gacino never turns around. He never swings his head around, and that's an easy call for the referee.
Second first down of the night for Burnsville. This time at the Eagan 34. A minute even to go here, opening quarter. Fake the handoff. Brown going to lob one up over the middle. He's got his man deep. Homuth, touchdown Burnsville, 34 yards out.
Sterling Brown's pass completed to number 3.
Well, if it worked once, let's do it again. Maybe we found something. The Burnsville Blaze may have found something here. Brown's firing again off his back foot, but it doesn't matter because the coverage that time got busted a little bit. Anderson was just underneath, and he needed to be right on top of him. Wow, this is what a real strike. And going from yeah, okay, they're going to punt. We're going to make them go 80 yards. Now they've gone 50 yards.
And they tie the football game up as the PAT. Good by Kenny Steffen. And the Burnsville student section, they are happy on that far side. 7-7 our score here, late first quarter.
Very important here for the Wildcats to take this kickoff and drive down the field, make some good stuff happen, Mike. It's not a situation where they have to panic. It's not a situation. I'm really surprised, if I'm honest, that they ran a fake punt there. I really would have punted that ball deep, given how my defense had played.
You know, you look at that Hopkins game a week ago, and I mentioned this to NJ. Hopkins Eagan had a fourth and short at midfield. Hopkins jumped offside. First down, Eagan. Cats go down and score. Next quarter, Hopkins is 4th and like 6. Hopkins penalty, 4th and 1 for Eagan. First down, go down and score. So I don't know if NJ's thinking was, hey, let's make a statement once again. But bottom line is that time it did not work. It's to Burnsville's advantage and Burnsville's credit. Brown with a couple of nice passes. One gets you interference, one gets you 6 points.
Yep.
And here we are, 7-7 in the border battle.
So the Blaze have demonstrated the ability to run the football I'll say so far we've got a small sample size, but semi-effectively. But the passes from Brown over the top are going to kill these Wildcats. And to be honest with you, that's what's killed the Wildcats all season, are the big passes down the field. So they're going to have to put more heat on Brown, period. Bottom line.
Kick it away for the first time tonight. And goes to the up back for the Wildcats. Gets out near the 30-yard line. Looks like it'll be about the 28 officially. And that is number 82 for the Wildcats, Carter Will, the sophomore linebacker. First return of the year, I believe, for Carter. That'll get him in the stats.
Yeah, it's a great way to get on the stat sheet. Of course, if you're the head coach or the special teams coordinator, you kind of swallow hard when the upbacks take the ball and try to be cute with it. But it worked, so good job, Carter Will.
When you think about earlier this year, Eagan had problems with those short kicks. I think back to especially the Woodbury game. A couple of them just kind of popped over. The other team got it. And Tonsager on first down. Actually kept that time by Schwamm. Read really well by Gregerson. And Schwamm hits the turf back at about the 28-yard line. Going to be right back at the line of scrimmage.
Watch this replay. I think if Schwamm had followed, Schwamm's not... He wants to go to the outside, and that's the right call to make, but that time the Wildcats didn't block it up correctly. And I think that's probably going to be the last play here of the first quarter. Yep. Maybe not, but I think it will.
I thought so as well.
I don't know. They're having a discussion. They're not sure if they need to snap the ball or not.
Well, Schwamm was over there by NJ, and I think they were all kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah, it looks like the referees are going to say, no, you don't have to snap the ball again for the end of the quarter. I was just going to say, it's a situation where if they block it up fine, that's fine. Schwamm could go around the end. But if you're struggling with that block, Schwamm's going to make that read and go, you know what, I'm following Tonsager into that hole.
Absolutely.
Because Tonsager, if you don't give him the ball, what does he become? He becomes a blocker. And you can follow him into the hole if there's an opportunity to, to stick, again, you're taking what is going to be a 2-yard loss or a 1-yard loss, turn into a 2-yard gain, but you'll take the gain.
As you look at the pit here in Wildcat Country, keep an eye on the pit next Tuesday night. Eagan girls soccer against Rosemount for the section title. 7:15, I believe, is the scheduled start on that one here at Eagan High School. A rematch of last year's section title game where the Cats upset Rosemount by a 1-0 count.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of Irish. The Rosemount Irish boys play in the early game for the section title against Eastview, so it will be exciting on Tuesday night.
And that will be an ETV broadcast. Lauren, is it Rockford scored last night from Kira Waldrop with about 8 minutes left?
Rockford.
Rockford.
It's Rockford, yes.
So, yeah, Cats looking to Wildcat girls soccer team looking to go back, well, to actually go to state this year. Of course, last year, COVID got in the way of things, and got no further than the section final.
Okay, the Wildcat offensive line, after 2 good drives earlier, they've got to do something now here. They've got third and about 8. It's not where you want to be if you're the Wildcats.
3 receivers plus a wingback. Anderson's going to go in motion, and they're going to throw it back to him. Again, a backwards pass, so this will be a rush for Anderson. Read extremely well by Burnsville. They've seen that once or twice. Tompkins all over that play for the Blaze.
And this is definitely a trend you don't want to see. The blocking wasn't bad. Downfield, the blocking's not bad. But that time, the Blaze figured out, okay, we got to account for that guy out of the backfield. We got to account for that guy in the flat. And they swarmed it. Nice play that time by the Blaze. I think the Blaze are going to call a timeout here.
So too.
Yeah, they had players running on and off the field. I think they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout, Burnsville. They're first of the half.
Hey, real quick, we mentioned the girls soccer team. They're advancing on. Unfortunately for the boys, their season came to an end last night.
Boys high school varsity soccer team for Eagan did lose last night in the section semifinals to Eastview. It was a tight game. I had the opportunity to take that game in from the press box, and Eastview scored early. The Wildcats with Derek C.A. Leveled it at 1-1 at the half, and then the Eastview Lightning managed to get 2 goals in the second half, and really put it away. And so it's an unfortunate run, but end of the run for the Wildcats. But at the same time, as we're often reminded, every team except one in the playoffs loses their last game, and sometimes you have to you don't cry because it's over. You smile because you got to do it.
Absolutely. You're on back to punt for the Wildcats. Kind of shanks that one off the right side of his foot. Got to about, actually did get out to midfield. Looked like that was going to be a little more going to the right. But Chase Clausen just grabs it on the Wildcat. And Burnsville set to take over. 7-7 our score. We said the border battle between the Blaze and the Wildcats. Both teams coming in at 1-5. Both teams have wins over Hopkins this year. And hard to believe that regular season is over in less than a week.
It's amazing to know that, right? I mean, it's amazing to think about that. And you blink. I mean, it seems like just yesterday we were getting ready for homecoming, and now we're turning around going, okay, sections are coming up. And that's for all sports, of course.
Absolutely. And Eagan says they've got it this time, and they indeed do. There's Wilson. He falls on that football. 3rd time Burnsville's lost it. 1st time they've actually lost possession.
That's absolute death. This ball, absolute. What a great strip by Carter Will. Recovered 80 strips it. Watch 80. He's going to strip it right there.
That's Kruger.
Check that. Yeah, Kruger is going to strip it, and Wilson's going to fall on it. Apologies to Kruger.
It's Carter Will actually that falls on it. I saw Wilson up celebrating. It was actually Carter Will.
All right, so what we know is that one Wildcat forced the fumble, another Wildcat recovered the fumble, and we'll have to watch the replay about 8 more times to make sure we've got everything right. But in any event, the Wildcats 1st and 10.
I think we're going to agree it was Kruger with the strip.
Got it.
Will with the recovery. Eagan on offense. First down, and then Eagan puts the ball on the turf. And Schwam just quickly falls on the football. And Schwam a little slow to get up. Hopefully just got twisted a little bit there. And
it's always awkward when that center quarterback exchange does not work out the way you want it to. And that nose or that 3 technique tackle comes in and smashes and lands on you. You're not exactly set for that, I mean, it's a big crush of weight all at once, and sometimes you're not really, if your offensive linemen don't kind of help you out, you can get really run up if you're a quarterback. So good to see Schwam walking that off.
So loss of 1 officially on the play. 2nd and 11 for the Wildcats. Pitch going to send it back. Tonsauger bounces to the outside. And gets up near midfield, taken down in an ankle tackle out there by number 18 for Burnsville. That's Marquise Howard, sophomore cornerback for the Blaze.
Nice play. It's going to come into your living room here. Nice job to the outside. Good blocking to the outside. Nice job that time by McGivern, also blocking down the field. I'll say one thing, the Wildcat receivers haven't caught too many balls this year, but gosh, they're blocking really well tonight.
Good look at number 6 for Burnsville, Keon Hunter. Broke up that 4th down attempt by Eagan. Last time the Cats had, or 2 times ago when the Cats had the football. Straight ahead, Tonsauger. Touchdown saving tackle is made by number 18. That's Howard once again. With Tonsauger down to, let's see where they mark this football. It's going to be almost to the 25. That's just straight ahead football.
It's great blocking by the offensive line. A nice seam, and Tonsauger, to his credit, does not dance. He does not dive. He hits the line hard. That's exactly what you need. You can't coach decisiveness, and he was decisive, and that's what you need out of Landon Tonsauger from this position.
Saw George Esser, 66 was in there. Alexander Cahill, 65. Both had big blocks on that one. Oh, Schwam eludes what should have been a sack. Lofts it up to, well, nobody. Unfortunately, that one is not picked off, but nice job by Burnsville. I don't know if there's a flag on the play or not. It was Tompkins that burst through, I believe.
There's a flag on the play. I think it's thrown by one of the judges on the sideline. This looks like a busted play. I think we're going to get an illegal man downfield here on the Wildcats, because I think the Wildcats thought this was going to be a run, and instead Schwam had to make something happen. So I think we're going to be illegal man downfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield, 79 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
So that'll make it 1st and 15 for the Wildcats. Back at about the 40-yard line. Again, a call you don't see a whole lot, but I think you described exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Schwam had to make something happen, and unfortunately, one of the offensive linemen, Jack Young, was down the field, and that's just, that happens sometimes, and there's nothing you can do about it. In some sense, it's better to throw it away and take the penalty than to take the sack, risk the fumble, and you get to keep the down.
Tonsauger gobbled up quickly in there by big number 62 for Burnsville, Jaden Ellis. He's having himself a nice football game for Burnsville.
Yeah, Ellis is a big boy.
Sophomore.
He looks, he's a sophomore, which means he's got room to grow. I think 62 and 64 down there for the Blaze look like the kind of guys who can really plug those holes. Those guys look like they've got some power there, and they're going to be hard to move. This offensive line is going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, 64 is Christian Savangsa. He's a junior. List him as an O-line and D-line.
Good discipline there by the Burnsville Blaze, not jumping off sides.
Schwam will keep 25 inside the 20. It's down to about the 18-yard line. Taken out by Gregerson that time. It's going to set up 3rd and short.
Look at the blocking. Look at Pluto there, downfield blocking. Nice job by the Wildcats to get some of that yardage back. They set up for a 3rd and about 5?
About 4. They need to get down to, looks like, about the 16-yard line. So short 4, long 3, however you want to look at it. Schwam surveys the Burnsville defense. He's got Tonsauger behind him. Tonsauger keep. And that's going to be close. Ball is loose. And did Schwam get in there? I think he's buried underneath Ellis.
I don't think that's a good place for anybody, because Ellis is a big boy. But ball comes out, forced there. Yep. Absolutely. And here we're going to see who gets to it first. Yep. Schwam took a nice hit there, and we're going to see something we haven't seen in a long time, Mike. We're going to see a legit field goal try here for the Wildcats.
It's be Alex Rodner from about 36. He's got the leg. Does he have the accuracy on this one? Officials look at each other, and they're going to say he just missed it to the right.
Alex Rodman is not good.
I saw Rodman in warm-ups going the other way. He was hitting from 45 with room to spare. So, but that one looks like it just trickled to the right.
Yeah, that one drifted on him. He had enough leg. He just didn't quite hit it square. The other thing, as you mentioned, Mike, the wind is moving from his left to his right, and so you wonder if he hit that square. But if there's a nice wind left to right, maybe, because again, it didn't miss by much. Right. So, I mean, maybe that's a situation where you say to yourself, okay, next time I got to recorrect for that. And as we just said, as I think I just said, it's not like the Wildcats have kicked a lot of field goals in the last handful of seasons. So, I mean, Rodman hasn't even had that many chances in game situations.
By the way, he did hit one yesterday at practice. I stopped by right at the end. 45, again, plenty of room to spare, into the wind. And he was absolutely mobbed by his teammates. It's kind of fun to see. Here's Gregerson, and that's fun to see if you're a Burnsville fan. As he gets out near the 40-yard line, 20 yards on that play.
Some good push right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice push, but then Gregerson does the rest. I mean, that's a situation where he's just a bull in a china shop. He's just pushing Wildcats from side to side as he moseys and saunters down the field. I mean, it just... you can't do that. Let him do that if you're a Wildcat defender. You got to wrap up and make the tackle.
Should mention Burnsville is out without number 24, Henry Seiko, tonight. He's got the second most yards rushing for Burnsville this season. The Blaze hope to get him back. Gregerson once again just powers his way forward. Nice pickup of about 7 that time on a play that most running backs would have been stopped after about 2.
Well, Kruger had him. Kruger had him with a early in that run, and Gregerson just powered through it. Watch Kruger 80 here, right there. He's got him. But instead of wrapping the legs, he goes for the ball. And that's a situation where Kruger's just got to understand as a sophomore, hey, got to get the legs. It's great to get the body. It's great to get the ball. If you can create a turnover, that's ducky. But you know what? You got to get those legs.
Just past the halfway point here, quarter number 2. 7-7 our score in the border battle, Burnsville and Eagan.
Everybody's checking their wrists for Burnsville, so we're going to either see an awesome play or it's going to go for 0 yards. Watch this.
Burnsville, they're thinking timeout is what we're hearing. Yes, they are. Yep. Good call by the Blaze with all that confusion out there.
Timeout. Burnsville, their second of the half.
Second of the half, as the official just said. With 5:29 to go in the half.
Smart for the Burnsville Blaze to make sure that they're on all fours here. I mean, they've got an opportunity here near midfield to really, get some real momentum in the rest of this half, and they don't want to make a mistake.
A couple other sports going on here at Eagan. Tennis individual sections, they start Monday, so good luck to the Eagan tennis team. Swimming and diving, they have their senior night coming up on Tuesday the 19th. And the volleyball team you had the privilege of calling the big one the other night where they, number 2 in the state, they took down number 3 Shakopee in straight sets.
They didn't just take them down. I think they dismantled Shakopee. I got to level with you. It was the first 2 sets, the Wildcats went on big runs. We can talk about it more after this play, but I'll finish the thought and let you call this one.
2nd and 3 for Burnsville coming out of the timeout. Brown looking to throw it. He's going to roll. It's good pressure by the Cats. And Brown just throws that one away. Eagan wants an in-the-grass penalty.
I think that's absolutely should be intentional grounding. There was nobody. Gregerson was coming over, but he was a long ways away from that ball.
But he was also out of the pocket.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Not sure that ball made it.
Again, nice. That's Wilson coming through.
Nice pressure by Wilson. I think I do think Brown's lucky. I think he's fortunate not to draw a penalty there, but at the same time, hey, you got to have a little bit of luck always when you play quarterback, right?
I think that's one of those. Had they have called it, you would have had a good argument.
I think that's fair.
I think there's a fair argument.
I think that's fair.
Well.
I think that's fair. Yeah, you could have. Either way, I don't think anybody can complain too much.
3rd and 3 for Burnsville. The pit making a lot of noise on the home side. Brown will keep it. And where's the spot? They're going to mark him just shy of the first down, judging by the official coming in from the Burnsville side.
There was odd motion in the backfield. I think that was a busted play, Mike. I think that was a busted play. The tailback went in motion, kind of a weird halting motion that just didn't make much sense. And then Brown turns around like he's looking to pitch it to him, and then says, I can't do that, so I'm going to go forward. And to his credit, he turns it into a potentially makeable 4th down.
4th and, dare we say, inches on this one. They need to get to the 50.
Wildcats are going to have to attack this line of scrimmage.
It almost looks like if Brown just falls forward, it'll be enough for a 1st down. So they're going to hand it off. That's a good call as well. Give it to Gregerson. Got plenty more than just those few inches. Oh, picks up 5 that time.
Well, he's been running through tackles for the last 3 or 4 or 5 plays. Why not keep giving him the football?
1st down from the Eagan 45 for the Burnsville Blaze. 2nd 1st down of this drive. Drive that began back on their own 20-yard line. Drive began with 7:03 to go in the quarter, so we're approaching 3 minutes on this drive. See the bottom of your screen, Burnsville does have 1 timeout remaining in the half. Eagan has 2. He's going to send a man in motion. They're going to pitch back. And Brown is just going to wisely foul that football back at the 38-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 18 on that play. I think it was Claymore he was trying to find. Or Claiborne, check that. Yeah, I think it was Claiborne he was trying to get the football to.
Well, Brown pitches the ball, but he aimed for the wrong side of Claiborne's body. He aimed for his far back shoulder rather than leading him on his front shoulder. And that's what you have, how you ended up in that situation. That's a huge loss for the Blaze. But I was going to finish my point on volleyball. The Eagan volleyball team did absolutely dismantled it, from my opinion, dismantled Shakopee. The 3rd set was close and very back and forth affair. The first 2 sets, though, Eagan had runs of 9 points and 12 points just to really put it away. And the body language from Shakopee was not good.
Here's Brown on 2nd and 29. Looks like they're going to go to the air, set up the little screen pass. This is Tompkins with the football, 45-50. He'll cross midfield, and plenty more for Burnsville. On inside the Eagan 25, almost to the 20. That will move the sticks on a great play by Tompkins on the Blaze offense.
Well, it's just what the doctor ordered if you're in black and yellow, and that's absolutely what they needed. Watch this to the left of your screen. Tompkins catches the ball. Now, the Wildcats, Mason Gugino turns him back to the inside, even though Tompkins could have gone to the outside. He turns him back to the inside, but the rest of the pursuit just wasn't there.
41 yards on that play for Burnsville.
It's a massive conversion.
Burnsville looking to strike here late in this opening half of a 7-7 football game.
Clock has stopped for some reason, too. To set the chains, that's one thing, but why should the clock still stop?
Right. I was kind of wondering that, too. Straight ahead, Burnsville. Gregerson down to about the 17, about 5 that time. 5 on that carry. Just one more thing on the volleyball team.
Yeah.
With that win, they clinched at least a tie of the conference. All they have to do is beat Apple Valley on, I think it's Monday. Apple Valley's 0-7. So the Cats win that game, they win the conference title. And well on their way to another strong season. Last 6 wins have all been sweeps.
Yeah, the Wildcat volleyball team is a machine. I mean, they've got great talent. They seem to have great chemistry together, and I think that's half of youth, college or high school sports is good chemistry.
One stat I saw, they've lost 10 games all year. 5 of those were in the first 2 matches. Here's Bell to the outside for Burnsville. It's down to about the 8-yard line. Sticks are going to move. 1st and goal upcoming for Burnsville.
Wildcats they've got to dial something up here, Mike. Watch this out to the outside. Will gets caught inside. Dorsey's out there. He takes on his blocker, gets rid of him. But Iaker's got to be. I couldn't see who the safety was. I think the safety was. I couldn't tell who the safety was, but so whoever the safety was who was supposed to be filling that running lane did not get there in time, and that's so Iaker and Dorsey had to try to make that tackle.
From the 8, 1st and goal, Burnsville. Going to take the lead here late in the first half, I should say. Cats thinking about a blitz. Cats are going to bring it, but they forgot to get Gregerson. And he twists and turns, loses the football. Cats recover in the end zone. What do the officials say?
Do we have a touchdown or do we have a touchback?
Touchback,
Oh my goodness.
Eagan football.
Oh my goodness. The fourth fumble by the Burnsville Blaze in the first half.
Watch this. Let's take a look.
See if we can see on the right of your screen. Yeah, that ball's coming out as Gregerson's reaching for the stripe. He's reaching for the stripe, and the ball comes out, and it goes into the end zone, and Dorsey falls on it. Oh my goodness, how unlucky for Gregerson, and how fortunate for the Wildcats.
I want to go back, if we can go just a little further back. The way Gregerson was spinning, I thought he might have crossed the plane just a little bit before that replay.
Well, it's certainly possible, and it's also possible that his knee, he could have been down. Couldn't tell on what we saw there.
So Eagan takes over from their own 20, dodges a bullet. 1:16 to go, 2 timeouts for the Wildcats. We've got whistles all over. Timeout taken, I believe, by the Wildcats.
Timeout. Burnsville
actually.
Their third and final of the half.
Last of the half for Burnsville.
Forgive me, Mike. Burnsville was had a player running on as the Wildcats were into their snap count. So I think what happened was Burnsville just didn't have the right personnel on the field. But the punt the fake punt that did not go for Eagan set up a huge momentum shift in this first half. And then now the Wildcats have flipped that script and stopped Burnsville literally on the doorstep on the 1 yard line, getting that fumble from Gregerson. That's 4 fumbles for the Burnsville Blaze, 2 of them recovered by the Wildcats.
Just wrote that down in my notes, actually. You beat me to it, but yeah, huge break there for the Wildcats.
I'm never afraid to steal good material from a master.
By the way, Eagan does get the ball to start the second half.
The key here for the Wildcats, just don't turn this ball over. Get a first down. Make sure you don't do anything that's going to give Burnsville momentum.
Right. Here's Tonsauger. A little stutter step. Picks up a couple. Taken down out there by Mambusani. Number 99 for Burnsville.
Yeah, if the Wildcats manage, watch this to the front. Esser's coming over. And okay, so note for the Wildcats, they're going to have to do something about Jaden Ellis, because Jaden Ellis absolutely blew up that play. He pushed, I couldn't see if it was Leonard or who it was, but S66 is coming over to make a block, and Jaden Ellis is pushing him and the guy he was trying to block him into the backfield. That is not going to get it done up front for the Wildcats.
Here's Tonsauger. Again, back to the running back position for the Wildcats with Parker Fall out. Cats might have got away with movement. They're up, maybe not. I think they did catch that. I think it was the right guard that moved for the Wildcats.
Oh, unlucky.
Nick Johnson had an interesting take on Tonsauger when I was talking to him. He said,
Start. Offense number 55, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
He said with Tonsauger, he played quarterback. Had some nice plays, no question about it. But this way they've got him in a place where he can just run. He said he's a tremendous athlete, so much fun to watch. Now it's like, just give him the ball and let him go.
Well, if that works for you, it works for you. And of course now on second down and 14 in their own end, deep in their own end, the Wildcats know exactly what they have to do, which is run the ball, run one more play, and take it into half.
Schwab will keep. As he stay in bounds, he falls down at about the 24-yard line on what should be the final play of the quarter. A 5-yard run that time. Burnsville is out of timeouts.
On the play.
I didn't see the penalty flag.
No, yeah, there it is.
But there it is. There it is at near the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Holding. Offense number 83. Half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
Just before that snap, I was going to ask you, if you're the Wildcats, do you just take a knee?
Well, at this point, yes. At this point,
well, now for sure. But
let's see if we can see 83 here. The hold is not at the point of attack. Schwam is snowed under it. The hold would have been on the right side, extreme right side of your screen there. We've got great camera teams here with BCT and ETV, but unfortunately the action just is kind of sneaking away from us on a few of these replays. Or it's just we can't quite get the right exact angle, I should say. But it was there. But at this point, yeah, you're right, Mike. I mean, the Wildcats should just be kneeling on this ball. There's no point in even taking a snap and trying to run a play.
Well, as the clock tricks down to 0-0, they do not have to take a snap. And we go to the halftime, kind of what we expected. This is smash mouth football. Burnsville 7, Eagan 7. Again, come down, as Nick Johnson said, get smacked in the face, see how you respond.
Well, the Wildcats have got to feel good about moving the football and scoring a touchdown, and then doing something at the goal line to prevent Burnsville from getting in the end zone and taking the lead. The Blaze, on the other hand, have to feel good about the fact that they've got some stuff that works. They've got Gregerson working. They've got passes that are working. They can keep their quarterback upright and not on the dead run. They'll have an opportunity to torch this, try to torch this Wildcat defense.
Well, let's see if they can do that. Second half action coming up in a little bit. You're watching Wildcat football on ETV and Burnsville football on BCTV.
Eagan Varsity Marching Band is back to perform their 2021 halftime show, led by drum majors Ella Eklund, Natalie Quick, Anna Schuler, and Katie Wong. The Varsity Marching Band has been working hard to refine their performance. Our show begins by remembering the untimely arrival of summer back in 2020 with a hit from 1972 by Alice Cooper off their album School's Out. No more pencils, no more books. Here is the Eagan Varsity Marching Band with School's Out for Summer. Our second selection channels CeeLo Green for a perspective on the world's battle against COVID-19. Released in 2010, a fitting summary of what many people want to do regarding this pandemic, we welcome Eagan High School twirlers Emma Moore and Chloe Bouchard to the field for our rendition of Forget You. Our final song was performed by a band from right here in Minnesota. They sang about the power of personal connections and supporting each other, and an NBC show decided it was fitting for their theme song, a decision that has immortalized it as one of the all-time great TV themes. On the field, you can watch the fountain flow and witness the famous couch that became unmistakably associated with the show. You know it as the theme from Friends. Here is the varsity marching band with I'll Be There For You. The Eagan High School Varsity Marching Band. Thank you for your support and enthusiasm. The Eagan High School Varsity Marching Band was directed by drum majors Ella Eklund, Natalie Quick, Anna Schuler, and Katie Wong. Band directors Brett Benson, Doug Hart, and Michael Pearson wish to thank the Eagan High School administration and the Eagan High School band parents for their support. Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the video.
I was more than happy to participate in it, actually being a former student athlete here at the high school.
The ladder is an acronym: leadership, accountability, determination, discipline, empower, and resiliency.
It's make sure you do your part, make sure you do your thing, make sure you get one step at a time and make sure you do your stuff, but at the same time, you gotta bring people up on the ladder with you.
Being able to do a photo with the fire truck, especially with the ladder, and climb the ladder with it was pretty fun.
It's really nice as a football player to know that you have a community behind your back and that you have people there to support you.
Fire Prevention Week. I'm excited to get people back in the fire station. We'll have some good demos, interact with the public, have fire prevention table, some handout fun stuff for the kids too. So we like to educate but still have some fun at the same time. So we're really looking forward to it.
And we welcome you back inside Wildcat country as the Cats continue to climb the ladder here in 2021. Right now they're tied with Burnsville 7-7 at the half. Again, I'm Mike Cook, happy to be joined by Nathan Cron. And Nathan, an entertaining first half of football that, boy, Burnsville lost that football 4 times, including once on the goal line. Or otherwise, this could be a 14-7 game Blaze, but to the Cats' credit, they're right there.
Well, the Wildcats did what they had to do. They kept Burnsville by hook or by crook. They managed to keep the Burnsville Blaze out of the end zone for that second touchdown, and that really gave them a big boost of momentum going into this halftime. As you see the pit there with the phones up and the flashers up for Tackle Cancer Night. Obviously, the Wildcats are going to actually, and the Wildcats and Blaze are all going to have just a moment here for. Let's do that.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And again, we mentioned it is Tackle Cancer Night here at Eagan High School. A lot of money being raised for the Randy Shaver Cancer Research Foundation. Again, you saw the pit. They're all decked out in pink tonight. The football players are wearing pink socks. Burnsville student section, they're wearing the pink as well on the far side. I saw some of the Burnsville players wearing pink as well. So good to see everybody out and fighting a disease that, for lack of a better word, sucks.
Yeah, it's one of those things that much like and of course many of us have had firsthand experience with illnesses in a pandemic, and as we collectively come out of that, we're faced with everything else that's still out there to bite you in the behind, like heart disease and cancer and things like that. And so of course tonight's Tackle Cancer Night, see a lot of money, as you say, being raised. We had water bottles, we had hats, we had shirts, we had all sorts of cool stuff that was being sold as a fundraiser. As both teams are going to take an extra minute here to warm up after that moment of silence and remembrance. And obviously, cancer, it takes on forms for so many different people. kidneys, brains, bone marrow. I mean, leukemia. I mean, it's just cancers. It's all over it can happen to so many ways, and it's so important that people take care of themselves. Men or women, doesn't matter who you are. Whether it's prostate, breast cancer, doesn't matter. Just got to take care of yourselves and do what you can, because regardless of how you might feel on a particular day, there are people that love you and need you.
I don't know how to follow that one up as we get set for third quarter action.
We'll call it going back to the toy department.
I guess.
It's a local popular television show that goes from weighty stuff to goofy stuff like, sports, by saying we're going back to the toy department. So let's do
absolutely. But hey, a couple things. Looking ahead, next week, a short week for both of these teams. They come back on Wednesday, the 20th. Shakopee will be here to face the Wildcats. Burnsville will be making a trek down to Rosemount to face a Rosemount team that is 3-4 this year and lost last night to Prior Lake on a hook and ladder on the last play of the game. Also, Farmington won on a hook and ladder last night. They beat Lakeville North, who is 2-5 this year.
I was just going to say the same thing as you were mentioning Prior Lake's hook and ladder. We saw the Farmington hook and ladder against Lakeville North, and then not just tying up the game, but going for two to win it. I love the call. Even if it fails, you love the call, right? I mean, it's like we're going to win this game or we're going to lose this game, but we're not going to overtime. But, who knows? Maybe what are the chances that we're going to see another hook and ladder tonight? It's possible.
I'll just say this.
I don't think the Cats are going to do it.
Head coach of Farmington right now is Rick Sutton, former Wildcat coach. We might be bringing Rick's name up later. We're not going to jinx the Wildcats either. We might be bringing up that name later. Hopefully we are if you're an Eagan fan. But there's some history potential on the line tonight. And hey, quick, I want to give a shout-out to our crew. This is a joint production between Eagan TV and Burnsville Community Television. And tonight directing the show is Dalton Gruber. Joe Chupik is doing replay. Aaron Thomas is on the graphics. And our camera folks tonight are Michelle Blasco, Ken Trainer, Tim Shingen, and Greg Borman. So again, thank you to everybody here helping out. A joint production of Eagan TV, Burnsville Community Television. Glad to bring you the border battle between the Wildcats and the Blaze. And I know on the ETV side, for the last couple of weeks, they've been showing a lot of Eagan versus Burnsville games. Kind of fun to throw back some of those memories, both good and bad if you're an Eagan fan or a Burnsville fan for that matter.
Yeah, the great thing about the Burnsville-Eagan rivalry that has historically, there have been times when both schools have been up in just about every sport. Hockey, football, soccer, whatever. And so sometimes it's this team, sometimes it's that team. But if you go back 20 years, you're going to have some good teams on both sides, and so that's really been helpful. And I want to echo your sentiments regarding this crew. They're doing a great job with the replays, the graphics, and all this stuff. And here we are, set to kick it away, and let's go.
Burnsville's going to kick it short to the up back once again. Cats are going to take over at about their own 35-yard line. Falling on the ball, you saw right there, number 80. It's an Eagan linebacker and his other profession. That's Jack Kruger, sophomore. Had a very nice game up at Hopkins a week ago. And right now the Cats are going to take over. 7-7 our score with 24 minutes of football left to be played.
I have to say, I like the fact that we've got, if you're a Wildcat fan, you got to like the fact that you've got a lot of young players, sophomores and juniors out there contributing. Will Kruger at the linebacker position.
This will be Tonsauger. Falls forward, gets 2, maybe 3. Number of Burnsville players in on that stop, including 55, Dylan Fisher. One of the top 3 tacklers on this Burnsville squad. You see Fisher coming in from the outside there.
A good surge over the left side that time. Alex Cahill got turned around a little bit, but it's because he was blocking the guy, and the guy spun off of him. Just got to keep his base wide. Nice job by Moses that time.
This really feels like the kind of game where somebody's just going to have to bust one. There's a flag on the play.
And I think the Wildcats are going to go for the false start. I'm not sure. Or an illegal formation. The left tackle or the left tight end, so whoever was on the left end, did not move when the ball was snapped. See if we can pick it up here on the replay after the referee.
Get the official signal here.
I wonder if they're going to flag Eagan for not being set, because the snap occurred very quickly after the offensive line got down into their 3-point stance, and I wonder if they're going to say that Eagan was not set at for the requisite count before they snapped the ball.
The officials over there talking to the Burnsville coaches. See what they want to do.
Illegal shift. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
When your left tackle's getting called for an illegal shift, you got a little problem. Let's watch the left side right here. Watch what he does. Watch what Moses does. Yeah, Moses is he's still not down. He's still not down, and everybody else, he's moving. Yep, he wasn't down, so that's not okay. He's got to be set before that ball snapped.
Cats will keep it with Schwam this time. He'll get out across the 40. Sticks are going to move. He's out near midfield. Nice run by Schwam that time, just kicking it to the outside. And he picks up about 16 on the carry.
Ooh, Carson Schwam, a little shake and bake. I'm not sure if we're going to get a chance. Watch this. Watch, he's going to come to the top and the left of your screen. Watch this move right about here. Look, look at that. Look, just a little head fake, little shimmy with the shoulder pads, and all of a sudden he freezes the defender. He goes around him at the outside for the first down. Nicely done by Carson Schwam.
And a nice block. It was Hansen there to help kick him out. Jack Hansen, he kicked his man out, and I saw McGivern was downfield keeping his man off the ball. Good play that time by the Wildcats. Fresh set of downs. This will be Tonsauger, and it's going to be second and long. That sniffed out really well by Gregerson and that Burnsville defense. Again, Fisher in there as well for the Blaze.
And blocking on the near side, that's just not good enough for the left side of the line. Although, in fairness, looked like, see if I can pick this up. It looked like Gregerson came from the backside, and that's just Gregerson with a great defensive play. But on the near side, it was 55. On the backside, it was 21. But in any event, it's a loss.
So it's going to be second and about 14, maybe 15 for the Wildcats. Schwam looks to throw, and just off the hands of Rowan Phillips. Had some room to run out there, but just a little too far in front of him.
Yeah, Schwam he put a little too much on that one. I don't think he expected Phillips to have that much room. Phillips was open. I mean, whoever had him in coverage, watch him, he's at the top of your screen. He's going to go to the out. But look, you see Phillips, he's by himself. There's nobody within 5 yards of him. If he catches that ball, it's going to be a first down, darn near. And I think what happened was they expected Phillips to have somebody on him. Schwam puts a little extra mustard on that. And as a result, it's a little harder for Phillips to get a hold of it. If Schwam floats that a little more, Phillips is able to run under it.
So third and long for the Wildcats, opening series here of the second half in a 7-7 football game. Schwam drops, good pressure by Burnsville, and he gets dropped by Gregerson, absolutely bursting through. Nick Johnson told me yesterday at practice that Gregerson is going to be the best player that Eagan sees this season. And I think you see why right there.
Well, I mean, he's, now, on the one hand, fantastic play by Gregerson. On the other hand, I'm not sure what the left tackle was doing there because Moses and Cahill squeezed down. Gregerson was unblocked in the scheme. Now, I refuse to believe that they're going to not block Gregerson.
Huron with the punt. And we fielded back at about the 36-yard line where Burnsville will take over their first drive here of quarter number 3 on Eagan TV in conjunction with Burnsville Community Television tonight.
I mean, so when you line up to block offensively, if you don't know where 21 is, figure it out really quick because he just ate your lunch, guys, okay? I mean, Moses comes down with Cahill and double teams a guy. Meanwhile, Gregerson, the best defensive player on the field, is running free. And I think, I couldn't tell who it was, if it was Anderson or who the back was, but you're basically asking the back, getting caught flat-footed, to pick up Gregerson and try to get Schwam out to the outside. And this is not going to happen.
So Burnsville, their first possession here of quarter number 3. Sterling Brown Jr., the senior quarterback, wears number 17. Got Gregerson in the backfield, Christian Belt back there as well. And give it to Gregerson. Just powers his way. Look at that second, third effort. Gets 7, maybe 8 on a play that should have got 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, not acceptable tackling for the Wildcats that time. You cannot, I mean, he's a great individual talent. He's not going to stop, but you can't tackle him high. If you haven't figured that out by now, you've got to wrap him up.
Hey, there's Tricia Burback, one of the key members of the Eagan Booster Club. I believe she's the secretary this year, but she does it all for the Wildcats. And what's her position? She called it tonight. She's the clip gal for this football game, part of the chain gang. Got to get that marker down right on the proper yard line. Again, one of the many folks part of this booster club that really helped things roll here at Eagan High School.
You can call her the secretary of the booster club. I refer to her as the first lady of Eagan football, and I think that's what she's done for so many, many years. And Brown does a nice job here of selling it. Wildcats, though, do a decent job of staying home, and Brown just short arms that. It's probably good that he did, only because Wildcats, to their credit, had underneath and over the top coverage that time in the flat on Gregerson. So creates an opportunity here for the Wildcats. It's a short third down, but still third down.
You just give it to Gregerson up the middle?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
That's what I would do. And just like that, needs 2, gets about 2.5. Sticks are going to move. First down, Burnsville Blaze.
The Blaze want to stay multidimensional. They want to be able to do different things. As you saw in the first half, they did a nice job giving it to Gregerson. They also did a nice job of throwing it down the field to Homuth a couple of times, one for the PI call for 15 yards and then one for the big touchdown. So, it's there for the Blaze, and you expect at some point, Mike, they're going to take a shot down the field.
Will this be that time? Just shy of midfield goes Burnsville, 3.5 minutes into this second half. Brown long count. Gregerson straight ahead, powers his way again. Another nice first down pickup. Sets up second and about 3 for Burnsville. And the Cats have got to start to tackle that guy.
Absolutely. Watch this surge. Nice surge that time. Big double team there on Wilson. And it looked like
Dilla was actually dragged for about 5 yards that time.
Yeah, to his credit, he wraps up.
Absolutely.
I mean, so he and prevents it from Gregerson from popping it. But here's the deal: if you're not attacking the line of scrimmage, and if you're in blue and silver, you're giving Burnsville what they want. You can't do that.
No, you got to have a little bit of help to take that guy down. Yeah, why not do it again? Pile moves, so are the sticks. First down, Burnsville. Gregerson again on the carry.
Keenan Wilson in. Forgive me. I was going to say Keenan Wilson in on the tackle. Better surge that time. You see one of the Wildcat players absolutely got taken down that time and pancaked by one of the offensive linemen for the Blaze. And the Wildcats have given up now 2 first downs in this drive. Just getting it ground down into them. It's going to wear them down, Mike, if they got to do something here to break this momentum.
4 Gregerson runs have resulted in 21 yards so far this drive. There was one incompletion as well. Go to the well once again. Only got about 3 that time. Trying to follow the blocks in there, including number 75 leading the way. That's Brandon Montgomery for Burnsville.
I mean, the Wildcats are in the unenviable position. They've got to start keying on 21. They've basically got to go wherever 21 goes. And, of course, the moment they do that, if what the Blaze are going to do is say, okay, fine, you want to key on 21, now we're going to stick it in his gut, pull it out, and we're going to dump it over the top. Or we're going to run a boot with Schmidt out, with Brown out to the outside.
Oh, nice leap there. That's going to be close to a first down. Nice carry that time by Christian Belt. Senior back for the Blaze. That's going to set up third and about a yard. Love the athleticism here.
Well, again, I'm watching Eagan Wildcat players on the ground and Burnsville Blaze blockers on top of them. That's not okay. You just can't. You can't get knocked down on the ground, and even if you're getting double team, you got to try to split that double team. Now you don't want to get pushed back, but you got to try to split the double team.
Okay, the obvious call here is you give it to 21, right?
He's getting the ball here. He absolutely is getting the ball here.
Again, needs a yard, gets 6. Again, let's credit that offensive line. Those guys never get enough credit during a football game, but they are absolutely dominating the line of scrimmage right now. Zane Schneider's in there, Dylan Fisher, Brandon Montgomery, Micah Savage is in there for Burnsville, and they are just having their way right now with that Eagan front.
Yeah, Eagan's catching blocks. They're not attacking the line of scrimmage, and that's not going to get it done. You can't do it that way. Now, to be fair, there have been 3 first downs now here for the Blaze. They still have a little ways to go at this rate.
Right. There's Belt. He's going to try to bounce it outside. Read well by the Wildcats. First man in was Dorsey, number 20, and to finally help finish him off was Jerry Tella, number 28.
It was a nice play by Dorsey on the outside. Watch him at the top of your screen. Nice job taking on the blocker there. Dorsey comes up, keeps his outside shoulder free, and then Will and Kruger and a whole host of Wildcats come knifing in. Nicely done that time by the Wildcats. That's the kind of tackling that you have to have against Gregerson.
Give him a couple on that play. Bring up second and about 8 this time. From the 26-yard. Actually, they're going to put the ball at the 20. This is the 29, so it was a loss of 2. I was looking at the down marker over there, and they've got that on the wrong side.
Tella did a nice job blowing up the lead blocker on that one, too. You've got to give him a shout-out.
Brown looks to throw. Brown rolls, lofts one up, going deep. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Burnsville. Who with this second of the game?
Oh, this is magnificent. Homewood does a great job over George Anderson. He's got a substantial height advantage over Anderson. The ball's heaved into the air as Brown just puts air under it and lets him go to get it. Wow, I think did Anderson get turned around, or is it, was there contact there? I couldn't quite tell. How did Anderson end up on the ground?
I think he got turned around was my initial reaction. And the PAT is up. And it is good. 14-7 Burnsville. And a drive that took more than 5.5 minutes.
Oh, it's an impressive drive by the Blaze, no question about it. You saw Gregerson do the business between the 20s, and when they got inside say the 25, 30-yard line, it was Brown rolling out. And if you're the Wildcats, you got to do something to keep him pinned in, because when he's rolling out or has time to set his feet like he did there, he's got an opportunity to beat you.
And I'll tell you, you look at the stats coming in, Burnsville does not throw the ball a lot. They don't have a lot of success doing it. Brown's shown some nice touch tonight. Both of those touchdown passes on the long pass interference call that set up the first Burnsville touchdown. I like what I'm seeing out of number 17 tonight. Well,
and the ball is, he's shown arm strength. He's shown some touch. He hasn't he's shown some touch, but he's created a situation where he's letting his receiver do the job, right? Give him a ball he can go get. And to his credit, Homewood has done a nice job of going up to get it. It's the short passes in the flat that have been more challenging for Brown.
That was a 10-play drive, 63 yards. Again, took more than 5.5 minutes off the clock. And does this one go out of bounds? It does. So Eagan's going to get good starting position this time. Burnsville miscue here on special teams.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you wanted to see if you're the Burnsville coaching staff. You go, yeah, guys, we just got a touchdown. We got the momentum. Let's not give them the ball, well out of the shadow of their own goalposts, especially when the Wildcat return
Free
game
kick out of bounds.
Has not been great this year.
Team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Eagan.
There you go. There's everything we need to know right there. Official take care of it.
I'm going to give a little bit of credit here also to George Anderson.
Give him a lot of credit,
that he knew, he knows the rule, and he knows he's going to let that ball go out of bounds.
Cat's going to run it on first down, just straight up. Actually, they're going to pitch it to the outside. Pick up out across the 40-yard line. Schwam limping just a little bit there, favoring that looks like that left leg just a little bit.
Yeah, he got smushed in the first half, and I don't think he's got a bruise, or he's got a little soreness there, residual soreness. But here's where the offensive line for the Wildcats has got to do a Burnsville. They've got to grind on these Burnsville players, on these defensive linemen, and give them a little push. And they got to get a first down here.
Tight formation for the Cats. Tonsauger straight ahead, and he's going to set up third and about 1. Coming off the bottom of that pile was Sonny for Burnsville. Fisher in there as well.
I like the surge. I like the call, and I like the surge. That was nice. We're going to watch this replay. Watch Tonsauger take this ball. Esser's got his guy turned. Moses is trying to block somebody there. Can't see who that is. Esser down on the ground pushing 2 guys. Nicely done that time by the offensive line. Now they need to do it again.
3rd and 2 for the Cats. Going to get the equalizer here with just over 3 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Straight ahead, Tonsauger. That's going to be close. You saw the sticks, they're right at the 45-yard line.
I think if he gets over the 45-yard line, that should be a first down. They started on the 35,
and
of course.
Sticks.
Yep, yeah, I think that's going to be a first down. Not by much, but I think that's legit.
Yeah, Landon Tonsauger started the year as a running back, shifted to quarterback after Lockenmeyer got hurt in the first half of week 1 down at Rosemount. Last week moves back to running back with Parker Fall on the shelf for a while. Yeah, and Tonsauger, he'll get the ball once again out near midfield. Good surge that time by the guys in the middle for the Wildcats, including 65 Cahill.
Yeah, Tonsauger's not a Gregerson. He's not going to break 8 tackles as he rumbles and grumbles his way down towards the other end of the field. But Tonsauger does, as we've seen already this year, Mike. We've seen him with that home run speed. If he gets a seam, he will go.
Again, rapidly moving third quarter. Cats, this is their second drive of the frame. And that was Schwam kept. Burnsville snuffed that one out. Number 9 in there this time for Burnsville, Will Stepanski. First time we've called his name tonight.
Unfortunate there because Tonsauger was running free. He was either the Blaze were brilliant in knowing that the ball had been yanked out of Tonsauger's stomach, or they got a little lucky because Tonsauger was 10 yards down the field with nobody around him.
For the Cats, you go to the air right here. Well, pitch it, Tonsauger. That'll work just as well because that'll be a first down inside the Burnsville 40-yard line. Down to the 37-yard line.
Watch this replay. Nice pitch from Schwam. He reads it well. Tonsauger takes the ball. Schwam gives him a good pitch right up towards his chest, so he doesn't have to take his eyes off of. He can see the ball and what's going on in front of him. Nicely done that time by both players. Big block by Moses from the left tackle position too, letting the pitchman come in, but then picking up the linebacker and scraping up to the next level.
Just over a minute to go here in this third quarter. Cats on the move. Tonsauger once again. Kind of barrels right into that line, picks up a hard 3. You saw the 66, Esser leading the way that time. It's George Esser, the junior lineman. So probably time for one more play this quarter. And it's going to be a 2nd and 7, maybe 8 for the Wildcats. Big drive for both teams right here.
Absolutely.
You said at the outset, this is going to be a game where you just line up and you just smash mouth football with the other team and may the best man win. And Tonsauger gets about 3. That should be the final play of quarter number 3. We've got a good one here in the border battle. It's the Burnsville Blaze 14, Eagan Wildcats 7. Don't forget, you can always check out archived games on the ETV, on the YouTube channel. You can follow them on Twitter. I believe it's Eagan TV, or Eagan TV on Twitter. There we go, right there. And again, follow them on Facebook. Watch the YouTube. And of course, you can subscribe. Make it easy on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And remember, this covers all sorts of sports. ETV does a great job with covering all sorts of sports. We've got soccer action, as you said, next Tuesday. We've got volleyball action coming up from time to time during the season. And of course as the winter rolls around, we have basketball. You and I will be together hopefully for hockey, and so it's going to be a full slate for ETV. I'll tell you right now, one of the best things is to follow them on Twitter so you know when it's going to be broadcast, because with busy lives, it's sometimes hard to remember all that stuff.
I don't want to give these guys credit because last year during the whole COVID era, ETV went out of its way. I mean, you shot boys and girls hockey, boys and girls basketball. You had wrestling. I think they shot just about every winter sport you have for the home games for the Wildcats. And I know BC TV was doing the same for Burnsville.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Both of these communities very fortunate to have the community television outlets that they do have. Cats 3rd and 5. That was busted up. Well, that ball is loose. And guess who was in there for Burnsville? Ellis. And recovered by the Blaze. I did not see who fell on the ball. I just saw Ellis with the initial hit. That's 62 in white.
He absolutely submarines here. Knifes in. They never even got the handoff. He just shot the gap. Eagan offensive line can't let that happen. He's just too big. He's too strong. He just shot the gap between Cahill and the center, and that's just not going to get it done. You guys cannot let him shoot that gap.
Burnsville's going to take over on their own. It's like about the 35-yard line.
So the Wildcats now have turned the ball over to the Blaze. That's the kind of thing you can't do if you're the Wildcats.
Eagan has to make a stop on this series. And if you're Burnsville, you give it the 21 all night long and let Gregerson just run plays just like that.
Well, I mean, and absolutely. I wouldn't call a rollout. I wouldn't call a pitch. I wouldn't call anything. I just give it to him again between the tackles and see if you guys can stop me. And right now, the Wildcats are reeling. In fact, it wouldn't even break my heart. To call a timeout here. The momentum is definitely on the Blaze side of things. Maybe get a defensive timeout, especially maybe if they get a first down. Get a defensive timeout, slow the game down a little bit, give your guys a chance to kind of get into the mix here from a quick change standpoint.
Need to get to the 45 for a first down. Brown, hands off, Hillo. That's Claiborne. Still makes something out of nothing. Only ends up losing a couple on that play on what could have been a 5-yard loss out of the game.
Well, what a fantastic. I have to say, I've rarely seen somebody do so well on a 3-yard loss. Right there, Anderson just didn't use his arms. Dilla didn't use it. Other guys didn't use their arms. Otherwise, they'd drop him for a big loss. Can't have that. I mean, that's the kind of tackling that we saw earlier this year from the Wildcats, and that's just not going to get it done in the South Suburban Conference.
And again, you talk to Nick Johnson, and he says it before every game. We have to tackle, and we have to tackle better. Again, plays like that, they've seen way too much of this season. 3rd and 6 for Burnsville. Brown looks to throw. He's going to come near side. Gregerson nearly picked off. Kruger, boy, he had 6 points if he gets a hold of that football.
Oh, he had that red. Mike Cook, he had that red. He read that play. Watch this. Brown steps back, does a nice job stepping into the ball. But Kruger absolutely knew that ball was looking at Gregerson, and why wouldn't it? And he jumps it. Oh, my goodness gracious. He did a nice job of recognizing that was going to happen. So what Burnsville did is they took the 2 outside receivers, ran them off, ran Gregerson into the flat and said, okay, big guy, go get us a first down. And that time Gregerson, unfortunately for the Blaze, just couldn't deliver.
Who was to punt for Burnsville? Cats did touch the punter, but I don't think there was no flag. And Eagan's going to take over just inside their own 40-yard line. 10:53 to go, and it's a 14-7 football game.
Well, the Wildcats got to stop, Mike Cook. You said they had to have a stop on that drive. They got to stop on the drive. And they actually didn't lose that much field position. About 20 yards, 25 yards of field position, but they didn't lose that much. It's not like they're starting on their own 5-yard line here. So, I mean, the field position here for the Wildcats outside their own 35, they're on the 37-yard line. This isn't the worst, 36-yard line. It's not the worst in the world.
Schwam calling out signals. He's got Tonsauger behind him. Tonsauger. Actually, Schwam on the keep. I think we all bid on the fake there. And Schwam out across midfield. Nice 14-yard pickup on first down.
Well, you and I bid on the fake, but our camera didn't bite on the fake. They followed that ball perfectly as Schwam came right into your living room. Watch this replay as he comes to the left side. Nice block there by Luke Meyer as Schwam cuts to the outside. One missed tackle, sort of a missed tackle by the Blaze, by Howard, but does a nice job to slow up Schwam, but it's a first down, big first down here for the Cats.
A little momentum potentially building there for the home side.
Absolutely.
The last drive, they were able to get 2 first downs before losing a fumble. And Tonsauger, he'll fall forward. Oh, we got a late flag coming in. Not sure what that one's going to be about. Came in from, I believe, the back judge.
That was a really late flag.
Let's see what this one's going to be all about as the officials huddle there on the Wildcat logo.
See if we can pick it up. I wonder, could this be on the defense? Could it be a
I was wondering if it's a
face mask. Maybe a 5-yard face mask? Because it was at the end of the play.
Personal foul. Defense number 62, hands to the face. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, results in a first down.
15.
Watch 62 here in the middle. Oh, here we go, right there. Yep. That's.
Yeah,
so Big Jack Esser is mixing it up there with Jaden Ellis, and Jaden Ellis had his hands up on Esser's face mask, and that's a big no-no. And that's just exuberance. That's youthful exuberance, we call it, Mike Cook. Youthful exuberance. And, but Ellis, unfortunately for the Blaze, cost them 15. And that's another 15 yards that this defense did not want to give up.
So the Cats are going to take advantage. They're going to go down to the 32-yard line of Burnsville. Schwab thinking about throwing. Schwab's going to get dropped back at about the 39. That's going to be a 7-yard loss. Guess who? Gregerson.
Wow.
Remember when I said NJ was telling us how Gregerson's the best player they're going to play this year?
Well, Schwab steps up into the pocket, does a nice job of that, but Gregerson just runs around the block. And I did not see which side he came from, but by the time he got to the back, it wasn't going to matter.
He came from the left side. 2nd and 17. Actually, they're going to say it was only a 4-yard loss. Generous. Well, combine those two plays, it's going to be about a 7-yard loss as Burnsville all over Schwam. Anderson helps out the opponent. Keon Hunter in there as well for Burnsville.
Yeah, so Tonsager or somebody was supposed to pick up 53 and nobody did. So that's going to mean your quarterback's going to end up on the turf. And now it's a 3rd down and quite long, 3rd and 17. The Wildcats are going to have to dial up something here. And I don't know. I mean, they're borderline. You might be in 4-down territory here.
Well, the Cats need to take a timeout. They had 23 come hustling into the play. That was good, Roe. Schwab going to air it out, looking for Phillips. That ball is
He's got
caught. 5 at the 5. First down, Eagan.
Oh, Rowan Phillips, where have you been hiding? Oh, my goodness gracious. He beats the coverage, but the coverage wasn't that bad.
No.
I mean, the coverage, there looked like there were 2 defensive backs. Watch on the left side of your screen.
What a bad snap to boot.
It was a bad snap. It's over the top. The coverage is there. The coverage is there. He catches the ball, collects it. Nicely done. Oh, my goodness gracious.
First and goal at the 5. Tonsager. 6 points. Eagan.
And the Wildcats are going to be the beneficiaries that time of a heck of a catch by Rowan Phillips, and Tonsager waltzes into the end zone, barely touched.
You got to love Adrian Moses out there leading the way as well. 71. He's looking for somebody to hit.
He's looking for somebody to hit. That makes me a little nervous as a former offensive lineman when your offensive line is walking down the field going, who do I tackle, who do I block? I don't care, just block somebody.
Hello.
But it works.
Rodman to tie it. And he does. This is a little slow on the call, but a drive. 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the drive, and we got ourselves a 14-14 football game here in Wildcat country. The border battle. Everything we expected.
Well, it's everything we expected, everything we were hoping for, Mike. I mean, we wanted the Wildcats to be competitive. We knew this was going to be both teams wanted to get off away from that one win. They wanted a second win for their season. It's a border battle. It's between 2 schools from the South Suburban Conference. I mean, you knew it was going to be tight, and we've got a tie game here with 8:08 left in the 4th quarter.
Hey, I want a quick shout out, by the way, to the 8th grade Eagan Green team. They're 7-0, and they're heading into the championship game of the South Suburban Football League. It'll be Saturday night, the 16th, 8 o'clock. They're going to be taking on a team from Shakopee over at Farmington. That Shakopee squad is also undefeated. It's the Eagan Green team, South Suburban Football League title tilt tomorrow night in Farmington. And Burnsville's going to get the football. They're not even going to make it to the 20. The Cats are all over. By the way, 7th graders, the Eagan Blues going to play Eagan Green here on this field tomorrow night. They're going to be playing for 3rd place in the South Suburban Football League as well. And the 6th graders, Team 1 went 5-1. Team 2 went 3-2, so things looking good there for the up-and-coming Wildcats.
Well, it's like we talked about with Josh Anderson a few weeks ago at homecoming during the second half of the Eastview game. You know, the president of EAA football talking to us about all the different things that are going on for EAA football, and that's a feeder program here for the high school, and it's, you know, things are looking on the up. The ladder is being climbed.
14-all, Burnsville with the ball. Gregerson, nice job of powering his way out across the 25-yard line. Signals first down. Will the officials agree with him? It's going to be close.
It's going to be very close, but look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. If he keeps his feet, he goes to the house, Mike Cook. You cannot tackle that way, guys. You can't tackle that way. It's a little short of the first down, but that's maybe only the second mistake that Gregerson's made all night. Something tells me he's going to get a chance to atone for that right now.
I would think so as well. And we are both correct, because there he goes again. Again, the Cats have got to tackle this guy. Eagan tackling has been borderline terrible this quarter.
Well, it hasn't been good, that's for sure. I mean, but here's the deal, guys. You got to hit him low. There, I couldn't see who that was come flashing through before Kruger cleans it up, but it's like, guys, don't get fancy. Don't try to end up on Sports Center, okay? Just get in low, wrap the legs, and wait for help. It's not hard in speech. It's hard in practice.
The chant of Go Big Blue coming from the pit as Burnsville has a fresh set of downs from their 35. Gregerson still falls forward, picks up about 3. Yeah, nice job there. There was really nothing there. He just took the 3 and was happy with it.
No, I don't think he's had a run tonight where it's been for 0 yardage. I think it's all been positive yardage. What a luxury there for the Blaze to be able to turn and hand the ball to a great athlete like him.
Again, I go back to what Eagan coach Nick Johnson told me yesterday. This is going to be a game where you're going to get smacked in the face. How do you respond?
Well, Wildcats definitely need a stop here. It's 2nd and long. They got to get a stop here.
And think about it, neither one of these teams has been in a lot of nail biters like this. More so Burnsville has been in them. Brown going to loft one up, and that's going to be out of bounds on the near side.
Burnsville very lucky on their right tackle. Absolutely did a takedown, an absolute takedown on the top of the screen. Watch over here. There's an absolute takedown. Well, you can't see from that angle, but Burnsville lucky that ball was not caught, and because there was definitely holding on that play. So glad that the referee and the umpire missed it, but it would have been rough.
Just to piggyback on that last part about head coach Nick Johnson for the Wildcats. Wildcats have been on the short end of a lot of blowouts, getting some garbage time touchdowns this year. Burnsville a week ago has that terrible start against Eastview. Twice gets within 1 score, so they're a little more used to this nail biter kind of thing. As Brown is going to get dropped. That is a coverage sack. Hanson and Wilson are going to get credit for it, but secondary shouldn't get the credit.
Yeah, Dorsey's running down the field covering guys left and right. Lots of pressure here on Brown. Lots of pressure on Brown, and Brown just couldn't find anyone to get rid of it. So the Wildcats here are going to have an opportunity to get this ball with a tie score, Mike Cook.
That is assuming Burnsville does actually kick this football away. Low snap, good scoop. Good kick that time by Humuth. Another favorable roll for the Blaze as that ball's going to stop at the Eagan 15-yard line.
Now, there's some people might criticize George Anderson there. I think that's genius.
I think it's the right play, too.
I think that's the right play. Let that ball drop. If it takes a bounce, so be it. But you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to field a punt that's going to be a knuckleball or in traffic. We're going to make sure our offense gets an opportunity 1st and 10 with this football.
Both teams with 3 timeouts. 14-14 your score in the border battle. Both teams looking for their 2nd win of the year. Schwam, Tonsager, minimal pickup. Tompkins and company in there for Burnsville. Ellis among them.
It's a little late on this, but we want to mention the EHS Powder Puff Flag football games over the homecoming weekend 2 weeks ago. Congratulations to our students and teams and coaches. All the workers, officials, and the link coordinators did a great job. The teams collectively and the school collectively raised $2,552 added for admissions, all donated to Dakota Woodland Shelter in Eagan.
Tonsauger bursts through across the 30, and he carries Hunter for about an additional 5 yards. That's a first down catch at the 32.
And that's $1,000 more for Dakota Woodland Shelter than they had ever raised in the past. Now, returning to action here today, Tonsauger finds a seam, nicely done. Phillips is not blocking anybody yet, but Boodoo is down blocking somebody. Looked like McGivern over there blocking somebody as well. Nicely done down the field, that time by the Wildcats.
As you watch that clock continue to tick at the bottom of your screen. Cats fresh set of downs as we approach 4 minutes to go in, dare we say, regulation.
Yeah, at this point,
maybe a yard that time, Tonsauger.
Yeah, I think at this point you definitely have to be saying about regulation, because the Wildcats are not going to try to race down this field, because, to be honest with you, Mike, that's not their game. They're not going to do that. And Burnsville is going to say, okay, you guys want to run the ball a few times, let this crank down, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. You're going to run the football up the middle, 5 times, 6 times in a row, that's fine. We'll go to overtime. That's fine.
Now, if you're Burnsville and you make a stop here for a minimal game, you got to call a timeout, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Make the Wildcats, adventures in punting, punt.
Yeah, we know how that played out last year in the Burnsville win over at Burnsville High School. Schwab, keep. Schwab stays on his feet. What is that? Gets it out to Tonsauger. Somehow, spin move out to the 38-yard line. Improvising. Gets about 6.
I think the last time I saw something like that was when I was, watch this. I think the last time I saw something like this was when I was about 9 years old, pretending that we were Jamel Holloway and Marcus Dupree in Western Oklahoma in the early 80s. But nonetheless, it was a it's a backwards pass, it's a pitch, it's a lateral. Nice job by Tonsauger giving his quarterback an option there.
Wow, you just dated yourself in that Oklahoma throwback.
I did.
3rd and about 5. Tonsauger stretches it out. Is it going to be enough? It's going to be close.
It is going to be close. I don't know if he's got it, but both officials seem to be walking on the 42. That stick is right at the 42. Watch Tonsauger here grind up the middle. Cahill's pushing, everybody's pushing. He stretches that ball out. He actually lands on a Burnsville player as he's reaching over.
And it's going to be 4th down.
Oh, it's 4th and very short.
Wait a minute. Now the chains are moving. Wow, that was a very delayed reaction. Wow. That, I don't know if I've seen it take that long to move the chains. Bottom line, 1st down Wildcats at their own 42.
So here's the thing. I think this may be a communication error for the officials. Maybe the judge on that side didn't get the word that they had signaled 1st down. That may have been what happened.
Well, now they're talking out there. You see that on your screen.
Well, and of course, the sticks have already moved. I think the Burnsville coaches
Marcus was on the field.
Yeah, he's concerned about what it seemed like 4th and short suddenly becomes for first down.
Yeah, there's Coach Vartness looking for an explanation.
And I think, and the 1st down. Okay, so it's a 1st down. And I think there's a communication error on the official crew.
And because there's an explanation he's going to get, not going to like. And from the angle we're at, I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
You and I heard about the other 45, is where we're stationed here in the press box. There's Tonsauger. That gets about 1. 55 on the stop for Burnsville. That's Dylan Fisher. Now, if you're the Cats, when do you start thinking timeouts?
I think you got to get another 1st down. I do. I think you got to get another 1st down. I think you need to be in Burnsville territory, because if for some reason something does go wrong, you don't want to give Burnsville an easy opportunity to try to tie this game up. And they've already shown the ability to go long down the field to Homuth.
And if you're the Wildcats, I think if you can get down to the Burnsville 30, you're going to give Rodman a shot after the Cats now take a penalty.
Freshman, 12 men in the huddle, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
A mental mistake there for the Wildcats. They can't have it. You just can't have that kind of stuff. And actually, that's the kind of thing that's going to take you out of your rhythm. That's the kind of thing that says, okay, now boys, we're playing for overtime instead of.
And now you're looking at 2nd and 14.
That's right.
You dare throw the ball, going an incompletion means the clock is going to stop.
Well, maybe it depends on whether you think you've got a good play that you can draw up that you can use.
Well, we're going to find out. Schwam, Phillips got a blocker out front. That's Meyer. He only gets out to about the 45. Gets out of bounds, however. Minimal pickup for the Wildcats. Going to set up 3rd and about 7, but there's a flag behind the play.
Flag down behind. Is this going to be a penalty on the Blaze for roughing the passer?
Schneider came in kind of late.
No foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 53.
Wow.
15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Results in a first down.
Watch Schwam here.
I want to see this one.
Yep, 53 gives him an extra shot, knocks him down. Watch here on the side of your screen. The ball is clearly gone. 53 gives it to him. And to his credit, Schwam, I wouldn't say acts. I mean, he got pushed, but he didn't exactly try to keep his feet. Nicely done that time. That's a mental mistake that time, really, by Schneider. It's unfortunate for the Blaze.
And Schneider's a good player. There's Schwam airing it out. Coming near side. Got his man just over the outstretched arms of Anderson.
Oh,
I
Anderson.
like the call.
Oh, Anderson. He gets, there was contact, no penalty, but there's contact, you know. But Schwam just airs this out, and Anderson, it's like at some point he knows he's not going to get the ball, and he raises his arms like, oh, you got to be kidding me, while he's running.
It's kind of like, do I dive or don't I dive?
Yeah, I don't think it would have mattered that time, but that was definitely Schwam put some air under that ball.
14 all our score. 82 ticks left in regulation. Ball, is it on the turf? It's Tonsauger with the carry. Burnsville says they have it. Guess who? Gregerson, recovery, Blaze.
Well, Gregerson doing a nice job atoning for his. That's, you know, I think he's now atoned for not accidentally signaling the first down, but also that ball just never made it into Tonsauger's breadbasket. Watch this here in the middle of the screen. Right here is where we want to be. Schwam pulls that out. He did not pull that out clean. And Fisher was also there as well to make sure that ball was going to, it nutmegs Fisher, but then Gregerson jumps on it. That's just not going to get it done. Now the Wildcats with 1:17 left face a real challenge here. I think if you're the Blaze, I'd run at Gregerson maybe once. I've got 3 timeouts. I'd run Gregerson a couple times, and then I'd let Brown start chucking it down to Homuth.
Got whistles all over the place. Timeout taken by the Wildcats.
This is smart. This is smart. You can't take them with you. They don't count on the scoreboard, so you might as well use them.
Timeout. Eagan, their first of the half.
And amazing now that we think about it, heading to overtime might be one of the best. It's the best outcome here for the Wildcats.
Vince Vartness, the Burnsville coach, I was talking to him on the field before the game, and we were watching their kicker warm up, and I said, how good of a legs he got, basically, is what my question was. They get it down to like the 20 or 25, they're kicking that sucker. They said this kid is going to be something, he's going to be good. Kenny Stephanie's a sophomore right now.
Well, you know, there's a big, you know, we talked about it earlier, you know, Alex Rodman was booting him through in practice yesterday from a certain, but it wasn't in a game. Nope. There's a very stiff wind here going from now Burnsville's left to right. I mean, all the flags are absolutely stiff, except, well, the American flag's not at the far end, but all the banners near the press box are. It's, you know, they're going to have to get close to give this guy a chance.
You got 1:17 to go in regulation.
Wildcats need to tee off here and just get to the quarterback.
Burnsville gets their back set on either side of Brown. Belt goes in motion. High snap. Brown gets favorable bounce. We're going to let that one go. Going near side. Is that caught? Student section thinks it's caught.
No.
The officials disagree.
Yeah, Belt made a great catch, but I think, yeah, he definitely landed out of bounds. Credit to Brown. That was going to be a disaster if he doesn't fall on that ball. It takes a fortuitous bounce to him. He gets a nice arm out of it. Once he catches this, Belt catches this ball, lands clearly out of bounds, but nice catch, just out of bounds.
I give the official credit. He was right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, the officials got that one right.
That play took 7 seconds.
Still with 3 timeouts.
Yep.
I wouldn't take Gregerson off. I'd still give it to Gregerson a couple times.
Do you throw a little swing pass to Gregerson potentially?
Hey, anything to get it in his hands.
I'll just give it to him straight up. Wilson drags him down after about a 3-yard pickup. Yeah, I would imagine timeout would be taken here by the Blaze.
Absolutely, why not? You want to set yourself up for a throw down the field. Wildcats here, not bad. Not bad in terms of holding them back. Keenan Wilson plugging the hole, but Wildcats have got to attack the line of scrimmage here.
Interesting call. It's actually 3rd and 7, I believe, coming up. Because you had the incompletion and now the short run. 3rd and 6 we're going to put on the screen. Burnsville, do you throw the ball again with that risk if it's incomplete? Clock stops.
Well,
do you give it to Gregerson, just let him pound, and then if you get 4th down, you pound him again?
Good question. Here's what I would say. If I'm Burnsville, I'm going to challenge the Wildcats and say, you know what? Even if we throw the ball and it's incomplete, we don't think that you guys can stop us on 4th down. We don't think you guys, and if we punt it, we don't think you guys can drive down and take us out of an overtime scenario. So guess what? We're going to throw the football. That's what I would do maybe if I was the Burnsville coaching staff. I mean, we'll find out. Get it to Gregerson in space. If they can get to Gregerson in space, they're going to be all over it. Now, Wildcats have to know that, and they got to mark them up.
A lot of noise coming from the pit. A lot of noise from the Burnsville student section. Swing pass, Gregerson. 1st down across midfield. Drags tacklers down to about the 45-yard line. That was Wyatt Peterson that got dragged for about the last 6 yards.
Nice job by Gregerson. That's a negative play, so it's technically a rush.
Yep.
Timeout.
But
Burnsville.
As Burnsville takes a timeout as the sticks move, nicely done that time by the Blaze. But I mean, if you're the Wildcats, I'm sorry. You have to find 21, and you have to commit bodies to stop him. Okay? You and I are up here in the booth, and we're in the booth. We're not coaches. We're not that good, right? But we know that 21's going to get this ball. Now we're at a point, to be honest with you, where you have to watch out for Homuth one-on-one against a shorter corner or a short defensive back. So I would say, if I was the Wildcats, I would say, Homuth, we're going to double him. We're going to make sure we double him, and then we're going to send everybody else at 21. And if Belt or Johnson, or Brown or somebody else is going to make a play, so be it.
1st and 10, Burnsville. See the time remaining in regulation. Brown, you called it, just a little too far that time. Fonashank, the intended target.
Lots of heat. Watch this heat right in Brown's lap. He gets rid of the ball well. Didn't really step into that ball, but that was not for a lack of distance. He had enough distance on that, and the defensive back was beaten. That can't happen if you're the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was Gugino back there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they got to give Gugino. I think they might need to give Gugino a little bit of help. I mean, because he's battling these receivers from Burnsville are giants compared to Mason Gugino. He might need a safety over the top.
That play took 4 seconds. Brown. The throw. Brown. The scramble. Throw. Picked off Dorsey. Dorsey 50, 40. Dorsey 30. Derek Dorsey, the senior, inside the 20. Cats with an opportunity.
I'm looking around for flags. I want to make sure there aren't any. There is a flag down. It's a great play by Dorsey to stay with this, to get it. My concern is I think we're going to have a block in the back, and I think it was right there on 16. I think this ball is going to, the interception is going to stand, but I think this ball is going to come back if it's a block in the back. Now, it's in foot soccer, we might call it a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. I'm not sure.
During the return, illegal block in the back, return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Eagan keeps the ball, 1st down.
Yeah, it's a block right here. Watch this, right here, right there. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's if you can't get your head in front of the guy, you can't get your helmet in front of his shoulder pads, right there. That's a problem. And so it eliminates a substantial return by Dorsey. But let's not take away from Derek Dorsey. The senior captain steps up and does the business for the Wildcats. And I have to say, with 40 seconds left, the ball's at midfield. Are the Wildcats going to push this ball down the field, or are they going to settle for overtime, Mike?
We're going to find out together. Schwam, quick pass. Phillips, I like the call. Out of bounds at the Burnsville 44.
Well, the Wildcats do have 2
Pickup of 9.
timeouts. They do have 2 timeouts, but if they're going to give you 10 yards for 4 seconds, let's do that.
Phillips had that long touchdown pass, or long pass to set up a touchdown earlier tonight. Second and inches, although the inches part may not matter here at the moment. Tonsauger burst through a tackle, 35. Tripped up that time by Fisher. Clock will stop while the chains move.
Watch Tonsauger. It's a shoestring tackle by Fisher, or Tonsauger is probably going to get to the 20, close to the 20-yard line.
9 yards on that run.
Eagan, they're second of the half.
Timeout Cats.
Smart to take the timeout, save the time as much as possible.
Well, the other thing I like here, you got a chance to set your offense.
That's right.
I mean, let's face it, there's some excitement in this facility right now. There's some electricity that we have not seen in Wildcat Stadium with fans here in a number of years.
That's right. I mean, the Wildcats beat Eastview here last year, Mike, during the COVID pandemic, but there were only about 300 people here. I mean, there were 250, 300 people here. It was moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, a few friends, like 4 students in the student section.
Right.
I mean, literally, this is exciting stuff for the Wildcats, who have not had this in 2 calendar years.
From the 35,
now here's the thing.
Will go.
Here's what I will say about the Wildcats: don't outsmart yourself.
No.
Don't be silly here. I mean, let's execute what you have to execute. Do what you got to do, but don't turn the ball over. Protect the ball. Be smart.
Schwam, Phillips inside the 30, down to the 27.
Well, it's 2 out of the last 3 plays. They're running that stop to Phillips. Schwam steps back, nicely done. He's still throwing a little off his back foot, but Phillips does a nice job using his big body to turn and open up to that football. Now they're in a situation where they could heave it to the end zone, Mike, and they could have an opportunity here with 26 seconds left.
Or do you run it, get the first down, stop the clock, and then have another play ready to roll? Schwam to the 24. That should move the sticks.
Yeah, he's on the other side of the 25, so the sticks move. Clock will stop while they move the sticks. Cats are quickly back on the ball.
And a quick spike.
Quick spike by Schwam. That's fine. 18 seconds now remain.
We're in Rodman's range. I will say that.
Well, you're in his range in practice. You're in his range
exactly.
Hypothetically. Does Rodman has the leg to kick it that far?
Correct.
Is he going to go through the uprights? That's the challenge, right?
You have the snap, the hold.
That's right. All that
with potential
the blocking,
everything on the line.
Everything has to be perfect. The blocks have got to be there to snap everything.
Schwam, Tonsauger bursts through. 15 down to the 10, inside the 10. Landon Tonsauger, 15 yards.
Oh, big yards for Tonsauger. Look at this block. Moses with a block. Cahill running down the field. Can't find anybody to block.
Cats a little discombobulated out there at the moment.
Cats are going to have to take their time out. They are not ready. They're not set.
We're not.
Now here's the thing. We're going to see a field goal attempt right now from
Timeout.
Rodman.
Eagan, their third and final of the half.
Okay, 2 seconds. The clock did run while we were waiting. So Rodman's going to have a chance here to win it in walk-off fashion.
And what are they playing on the PA right now? Don't stop believing. Can you feel the tension in the pit? Again, tackle cancer night. Will the Wildcats send this student section onto the field. Let's be honest, they're rushing the field.
I bet they probably are. I can't blame them if they do. But here's what I will say. The blocks have got to be good. You got to close down those gaps. The snap's got to be good. The hold's got to be good. Everything's got to be perfect.
Keep an eye on Gregerson. He's blocked a couple of kicks this year for Burnsville. This is going to be a 25-yard attempt for Rodman. Anderson the holder. And timeout is taken.
Burnsville's got to make sure that they've got the personnel. They're going to let Rodman think about it a little bit. That's absolutely the smart play. You can't take the timeouts with you. Rodman knows the next chance he has, he's going to be kicking this ball.
Absolutely.
And hopefully everything works out well here for the Wildcats. For the Blaze, if Rodman misses this, or if it's blocked, or if something else happens, we're going to overtime. And that's a big win for them. At the same time, for the Wildcats, still a big momentum shift here, right? I mean, I think the Wildcats have to feel really good about the way they've run this last 2 minutes.
Rodman for the win. He gets it! The Cats win! Alex Rodman, winning kick. Wildcats 17, Burnsville 14.
Oh, it's a big party at the Rodman house tonight. I'll tell you right now, he gets sprinkles on his DQ, Mom and Dad, because Alex Rodman, your baby, just put the Wildcats into the win column 2 games in a row. Mike Cook, how long has it been since the Eagan Wildcats have won 2 games in a row?
Ron, I'm glad you asked that question because I've got that right here for you. It has been 7+ years. September 5th, 17-16 at Wayzata. September 12th, 2014, 41-0 at Farmington. Guys on that team, Sam Zenner, Joe Kovac, Josh Kaluski, Connor Tonsager. Cats have won 2 in a row for the first time in 7 years.
And this is a team, it is a team victory. I mean, Alex Rodman nails the winning PAT as you see the pit absolutely jubilant. Alex Rodman nails the field goal to win the game, but Derek Dorsey with the big interception. Big catches from Rowan Phillips. Great play by Tonsager. Great plays by Schwam. All of the things, the offensive line doing what it had to do. The tackles that had to be made eventually got made. And you see the players coming to receive adulation from the pit. We haven't had this much excitement at Eagan Wildcat Stadium in quite some time.
You see a few of the pit members, they cleared the fence, but jubilation in Wildcat country. Oh, what a feeling.
So many times the Wildcats have played well enough to lose a football game, Mike Cook. That time, they played well enough to win the football game. Despite turnovers, despite mistakes, despite the things that sometimes occur, they got the job done. And that's, if you're a football coach, a football player, that's all you can ask from your team. Hey, we had a chance in the last few seconds of the game to win the game, and this time we got it done.
At Burnsville, they had that opportunity. They had a couple opportunities, something they can build on. Again, just a great border battle football game, smash mouth football. Let's take a look at Alex Rodman with the winner one more time.
Well, there's no doubt he absolutely crushed that ball. I think it was still going up.
I love the reaction.
George Anderson's going to jump right out of his shoes. Like I said, Alex Rodman gets sprinkles on his DQ tonight. No question about that.
Again, we mentioned, when was the last time you saw that jubilation here in Wildcat country?
I'm not sure about a few of those hats down there. Those are looking a little strange to me, but I like the pink for Tackle Cancer Night. No question about that. That student body has not exactly had a lot to cheer for at football games. And let's hope that a lot of these kids are here for the section final between the girls varsity soccer team and Rosemount, top-ranked Rosemount. So that's going to be a big one too here coming up on Tuesday.
Alex Rodman, one of the seniors on this squad. Think about these 12th graders, how much, I don't even want to say heartbreak on this field, just getting beaten down on this field throughout their careers. They have this jubilation. Oh yeah, and by the way, you're playing again in 5 days.
Yeah. Well, savor it now. Enjoy it. Have fun. Take your pictures. Hug mom and dad. Say thanks for bringing me to practice. And enjoy it now. Because, again, as you say, in 5 days you're playing Shakopee, and you're going to have a tough game, and then you're going to have another tough game against another top-ranked opponent. But for 24 hours, enjoy it. Because this is what high school sports is about. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't win. But in the end, you take lessons out of both.
Again, you mentioned the Wildcats, they're home on Wednesday the 20th against Shakopee. Burnsville will be at Rosemount on the 20th. And then 9 days later on the 29th, I believe it is, or the 30th, section play will begin in high school Class 6A football. Again, special thank you to everybody involved with ETV, BCTV that is part of this production tonight. Great to have the teamwork with the Burnsville folks, the Eagan folks. Happy to bring in this broadcast. And of course, we're the Eagan announcers. We're happy with the result. So that's going to wrap things up in Wildcat country, an ecstatic Wildcat country. Alex Rodman, 25 yards. Eagan, 17. Burnsville, 14. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time for Wildcat football on ETV.